Hello everyone, my name is Dennis.
And I'm Joy.
And together we are Joy and Dennis Ajayi. We're going to give you a review about the Couples Conclave Retreat 2024. There we go first.
Bonded for Life 2024.
Yes.
Oh my God.
On the Road to Recovery was the running theme for the session. All of the teachings on the Road to Recovery gave deep insights into marriages and gave tips on how you can build, sustain, and enjoy your marriage.
Oh, what about the boat ride?
Yes, there were rides. Boat ride, bus ride, bed ride.
Take me back.
Several rides.
And the sessions, we had games, we had the prayer walk, we had exercise, the Roomba dance that morning. Oh, and the food was good. The connection.
Yes, the connection too.
Oh
yes.
My God.
The couples retreat was an embodiment of everything you will need to just reignite that spark in your marriage. We had an amazing time. I want to say thank you to Master Conclave. Thank you to Yellow Wife Coach Wendy and everyone that God used in that session. It was amazing. I will say God bless you.
Thank you, thank you. Whether your marriage is at the stage where everything is working, then come and keep the fire burning. And if the spark is low, like he said, come and reignite it. For us, we caught the fire and we're going to keep it burning. And we have our agenda now
yes,
to
so
show
we have our
workings
agenda. We're coming back to 2025 with workings. And let me let you know, we in fact, we will never miss the retreat.
By God's
So I don't even know how, is it that you move me out of the spot, but the Couples Retreat, Conclave Retreat is our annual event, Couples Shiloh.
Yes.
I will not miss it. Miss it, miss out. Bye.
I'm Mrs. Uzamaka Omiale.
And I'm John Omiale.
And for us, the Conclave, the Couples Conclave is a place of submission, because we are marriage counselors and you don't really want to be listening to yourself alone. You also want to listen to someone who speak to you, because really nobody knows it all.
And matter of fact is, if your marriage is doing very well, you should be here. If your marriage is not doing very well, in fact, I don't know what you're waiting for. For us, it's a place where we get renewed every month, every year. A place where you find people of common minds, and you can get excited, you can get prompted, you can get, gingered, you can get challenged, you can go higher, because whether you like it or not, your marriage can get sweeter.
Yes.
And they say there is nothing like stagnancy. It's either it gets sweeter or it gets better. If you're a fast car, you will still go for maintenance.
Yes.
So for us, we are here, we love it here, we remain here, and we believe that we'll continue to do greater things together as husband and wife being here. Thank you, Couples Conclave.
See you at the Conclave.
See you. Why not join it? Join now.
I'm Captain Peter.
And I'm Mrs. Grace. And we are the Akpovemis.
So the Couples Conclave have helped us tremendously. We joined this year actually, and from January till now, things have changed in our marriage. At least communication is the vital part now. Before now, our communication was not as good as it was. But since we joined, every lesson we have learned so far has helped us to communicate about our finances and also the shaking of the bed. And we've also used it to encourage some of our friends that are ready to join 2025 Couples Conclave.
Also, Couples Conclave is a place where it makes you remember the reason why you got married at the first place. It brings back that love that maybe bringing up children have made you lost. It brings it back together. It makes you have time for yourself. It makes you remember that you loved yourself. That is why you got married at the first place. So Couples Conclave is a place where you feel free to express what you are going through, and you see your marriage running as if you started from the beginning, and your marriage goes sweeter and your family goes sweeter. Also, you are being taught how to bring up your children in the way that they will be loving. They will be able to tell you secrets they are not telling you before, and you see yourself, maybe you will be corrected in the mistake you've made before, or the mistake you are making, you don't know you are making it, because a lot of parents make mistake in training up their children and they don't know they are making this mistake, and it's affecting the life of the children. So in couples conclave, you learn all these things and you see everything, your marriage works better for good. So we are inviting you to come and join the couples conclave. It's a place when you visit it, or when you where you are into, your marriage will not remain the same again. That's both of you forgetting your love for each other will not be there again. So we are inviting you to Couples Conclave 2025 so that you come and join us and be happy like the way we are now and enjoy yourself.
Hello, we are Mr. and Mrs. Ebuka Ede.
Yeah.
And the Couples Conclave for us has been a place of accountability where we go to, submit to, and make sure that our marriage is moving on right ahead and forward.
Absolutely, because totally reshaped our marriage, helped us in our communications, in getting to even know some other things we didn't really know about ourselves. And that has really rubbed off with everything we are doing in our marriage.
Yeah.
That just made it better, sweeter, and deeper.
Word.
Oh yes, and we're going to be here for life.
For life. We are
2025.
bonded by this
2025.
love.
Hundreds everywhere. We are here
We
now.
are here.
We are not going anywhere.
It's not an
Why
option.
would somebody not be here?
I don't get it.
Please come in quick.
You are welcome to this year's retreat of Couple Conclave 2024. And with you this evening is the family of Ayodej and Tolu Lopeojo. We want to tell you that Couples Conclave is a place to be. This is where you have more information about family life, how to develop a family, and how to live a very peaceful family with your wife and with your children. It's a forum whereby you have opportunity to network with other families, share their opinions, share how their journey has been. And I promise you that when you are in this gathering, you have a lot to learn. You know, there are so many things in a marriage. People have learned different things of different ways of living together as a family. But I can tell you, as a couple, there are so many things that are fundamentals that so many of us don't get to know. But when you come to this forum, it's an opportunity to learn, to have that relationship with a coach who is trusted and who has the experience. He will guide you, he will tell you what to do, and you will share life experiences. And at the same time, you also have the opportunity to relate with other families, other couples who probably are going through one thing or the other. It's an opportunity to also rub minds together and share your feelings, and you get to also learn from them. So I want to use this opportunity to invite you to Couples Conclave. And this is an annual retreat. We're privileged to be part of last year's retreat, and this year once again we are here, and we hope to also be here next year. But next year we're using the opportunity to invite as many who have not been able to get the opportunity to attend this year to make a date for next year, be part of the retreat. We're starting from being a member of the conclave to get to know more and more how the family couples line to run, and you get to also network with other families.
Yeah, it's a place where you get to learn how to relate well with your spouse, well, husband and wife. So there are lots of things that happens in the couples conclave. You get to have activities to do together. You know, being in the conclave, actually, it's not that you don't know them, but being in a community where people share things together reminds you of things that you can do with your spouse that keeps the fire going. You know, you find out that you keep loving yourself, you keep appreciating yourself, and keep respecting yourself. Couple Conclave is a place to actually be. We've been here, this is our second year, and I can say for sure it has really helped us. You know, sometimes when you have issues and you remember some of the lessons, some of the teachings, you are like, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And together we've been able to become a formidable force. That yes, we can do things together. It is no longer I, but it is now we. So if you are there, you are still thinking of, oh, should I join Couples Conclave? Oh, what are the benefits of being in Couples Conclave? And I'm telling you, this is an opportunity for you to join the train. You have a lot to learn. Ideas are being shared every day, nuggets are being shared every day, and activities are being shared where you and your wife can actually do together to keep the fire burning. Well, I love Couples Conclave, and I'm happy to be in Couples Conclave. Thank you, everyone.
We were part of last year's retreat, but our testimonial is from joining TIP and joining Conclave. I'll be brief. When I joined, or when I met Gov, Coach, please, I'll call him Gov for now. It's going to flow better. That was sometimes in 2021. Then he was running this, I think, 3 months course, every 3 months. As at the time I met him, I was done with marriage. When I mean done, I wanted out. As in, I'll tell my husband to the face that, move out and give me peace. Yeah, it was that bad. I didn't want anything to do with him. I see him and I'm sad. He touches me, I am irritated. It was that bad. As in, I grew up where we had these women taking charge, women doing things. I grew up with my mom, my aunties, doing what men were doing. So I just felt I didn't need you. As in, I'm trying to pass a message to you that I need you to do this. And you're not running with it. Oga, I've left you. As in, I've moved on, I've done it. Whether it's the financial aspect of it, even if I have to borrow to do that thing, I wanted to prove that, hello, what a man can do. I beg, if you're on that table, fall. What a man can do, a woman can do. But I was on that table conveniently, with pride. So when I met Gov, I was done, honestly. I didn't have hope. I didn't at all. And I can remember writing him a long episode, very long, of how, Coach, I was done. I just wanted my peace. The only way I felt I could get peace was leaving him. And he tells me with the children, I said I'll be fine. My mom, 4 of us, and she did well. We went to the best of schools, we did all that, single-handed. Me said, I will be fine. I didn't have money. I said I'll be fine. So when the conclave, okay, let me say from TIP, I started changing from TIP. It started from, I think I started receiving sense small. From the day they introduced Coach Wendy and they said she calls her husband governor. I said, in my mind, I said, people are trying to marry you. A whole governor. As in, I will call my husband governor. For what now? As in heading a state. You are not calling one person. When you say you are calling someone, that kind of respect. And yeah, she's calling her husband. So I started receiving sense then, but the sense was not sensible. So when I joined TIP and I started implementing, because initially I didn't implement, but the year I started implementing, and I decided I was going to start working on myself, not even for my marriage, it was for my children. As in, I wanted to work on myself because of my children. But I found out that as I was working on myself, I began to work on my marriage subconsciously. I didn't know. So when we joined the conclave, the first year, like when I joined TIP, the first year, nothing. I didn't implement. I was just there. They say knowledge is light, but sometimes knowledge can be darkness when you are not implementing. As in, the knowledge you are gaining, you are not gaining anything. But when I started seeing the changes from TIP, as in I started implementing, I started giving myself sense, I started healing from my trauma. I didn't know it was trauma. You know, when we started that course, the first course we did on childhood trauma, oh Father, I didn't go to work the next day. As in, I now wrote down my trauma and I was on number 51 when I stopped. I didn't know it was that many. I didn't know all I'd been facing over 10 years in marriage was trauma. And you know, I had to start by forgiving myself. Then I started forgiving people that I felt put me in that trauma. And you know, my husband is someone, he's also quiet. And anything I did then, it was okay. I didn't know he had shut out. I'm smiling now. Before, fire for fire. You know, when there's an issue and I know it's going to bring up the issue, I've thought of the reply that I will give. Not good reply. When I say bad reply, as in I'll finish him from head to toe. As in, it was that bad. It was that bad. And the man will be like, what is this? Am I irritating you? And you know, you're telling the man, yes, you are irritating me and I want you out. As in, oh God, you don't know where I'm coming from. It was that bad. So when I started healing from my trauma gradually and I was becoming a new me, the webinars, peace and all that, he started seeing changes. It was so bad that even when I was still healing, and they would tell us something in TIB and I want to pass it across, then the trauma had not finished. I'll say, Ogbeni, today at the webinar, they said this is what fathers must do to their children. And you just nod. Now life, he's not going to do anything. The second day, I'll come again. Today is connection today, say we should watch this movie. Well, that's the way I was communicating, as in, you are not getting the knowledge, I'm getting the knowledge, I'm trying to help your ministry, and you are not flowing. And the man will just look at me. He joined TIP for 1 year, he did not do jack. He didn't do anything. When I said there's a webinar, I would just look at it. And because he just felt the result of TIP was not showing. So, you know, somebody that I forced and I am not implementing is not seeing the light and I expect him to flow. It was not flowing until the change started, until I started healing, until I was becoming, like Coach will say, yeah, becoming. And you know, he started seeing the changes. Then when I go to the conclave, when I got to conclave and I started implementing, because I was healing, so it was easier for me to implement. It was easier for me to communicate. You know, there are some things I want to communicate and I feel like, you know, I would rehearse. Normally before I would not rehearse. It's the way it comes to my brain, I will pour it out. You understand that kind of thing? But now I will intentionally rehearse and see that, is this respectful enough to say? Is this right to say? There are some that I feel that, okay, he may not understand because it's not in the yard. I would send a message. When we have calls, we can go for months. I was okay. We won't talk. As in, but we are coming in and going out, we are like that. And you know, it was affecting the children in such that my first will want something. If my husband has said no, he will come to me, I will say yes. And you know, it was causing conflict. And my husband will be like, did I say just say no? And he'll be like, mommy said yes. And I'm like, yes, I said yes. So it got to a stage that the children were even, I won't say respecting me, but because my voice was loud and it was silent, was quiet one, it was as if I was in charge of the home. So anytime they needed anything, they would come to mommy. They weren't even bothered about daddy. So it was really an issue. So with the conclave, with implementation, with everything, he started seeing the changes in me. And somehow, I don't know how we did it. We just started working it out. You know, it just flew, but I found out that it had to be because I worked on myself. I healed. I started applying empathy that is also coming from a lot. It's coming from a home where siblings are not together. I'm coming from a home where siblings are together, but marriage wasn't good. His parents' marriage were good. So he always felt my marriage should be good. He wasn't working on it too, but joining the conclave, we both now intentionally work on it. Normally, if it was last year that I invited him for the conclave, I had not healed. I told him, if you pay, you just pay. As he was ready that we were going to go to Abuja, and I told him, Madalo, They will ask when you get there, where's your wife? You tell them I came alone. As in, it was that bad. But this time around, you know, I'm sleeping and stunning retreat and also waking up. Okay, what is the next thing to do on retreat? Yeah, let's plan it. And you know, we are coming from a lot. And I am grateful to the Ologes. I am very grateful. You know, when I pay for things in my office, you know, I do this monthly ajo just for camp. We do it for camp, for mentorship for our children, for conclave, for TIP. And you know, there was this day I was late last year. I was transferring the money, and as I got the money, over $1 million, and I was transferring, and my friend was beside me, and she was like, "What is this money?" As in, she saw me doing the transfers, and she was like, "You're just dashing these people money." And I said, "Well, if I'm dashing them money, they are dashing me knowledge, they are dashing me light, and I don't even see it as I'm spending money. I see it as investments, because my family has turned around. Is it my children? Everything has changed. Even the children come now and say, 'Mommy, you're so calm.' You know, there was a time my son would come to me and say, 'Why are you always angry at daddy? You are never happy with him.' But now he comes and he knows that he can't get away. Whatever my husband is saying now, he knows we are on the same page. So they don't play on that gap anymore. He knows, we say, 'Mommy, please, can you help us tell daddy that?' It has changed to the fact that, 'Can you help us tell daddy that we need this?' And I'm like, well, we'll bargain it. We'll come together as a family and we'll discuss it. This was never like that. Do your thing and do my thing. Then I will help my business. When I started the business, well, I was doing it on my own. He only came in when I needed that help of what a woman cannot do. That was when I would call him in. But you know, after the conclave and I met with Coach Kunle on business mentorship, I started carrying him along. And I can tell you with all humility, my business grew. As in, even when I have told him, okay, this is what I want to do, he's telling me, okay, you can do it. The fact that even giving me the go ahead, the thing comes out exceptional. Normally, I would have said that thing, I'm going to do it. I will do it without carrying her. Before, I will do it without carrying her, and I find out that the thing is somehow, the business was not even, I don't understand. I was making money and I was not seeing the money. But now, when I tell him, honey, my production process, everything, he knows everything. Even when I am not there, the business is moving. But there's no step I want to take that he does not know. He does the negotiation with the vendors and all that. I tell him, well, yeah, do. It's my business. He tells me that I want you to run it because he came up with the idea. But he's coming into it has changed it. Honestly, in 3 months, when Coach mentored me and told me that I give you 6 months, is here to make $1 million profit. $1 million profit. I made it in less than 3 months because I involved. You know, things I would say I want to do, and he tells me, no, don't do it this way. Let us do it this way. And I listen to him. In fact, when they say 1 can chase 1,000, and 2, that is what happened. I couldn't have done it without Conclave and TIP. It's a, you know, in fact, I can't explain where we are coming from. God bless you.
Give my gratitude. I think, first of all, to Coach Wendy. I can be a very emotional person too. I won't want to talk too much for now. I think I bottle things up a lot, and I think what really happened to me was, I think to an extent, I was lazy. I wasn't ready to work on anything. I was really lazy. The problems were there. They were staring at me, but I just didn't know what to do. I think God just sent 2 people to us as angels, and that's Coach Wendy and Coach Kunle. God really took control. Thank you, Coach.
Mr. and Mrs. Matthew and Etima Ume. Coincidentally, last year's retreat was just a few days to our 18th wedding anniversary. That's last year. So you would think that experience or the number of years you have spent in marriage will solve so many things. Also, I'm a pastor. So
More so.
more so. So good marriage doesn't answer to anointing. So whether you're a pastor or not, it doesn't really matter. But you need to work on your marriage. So it became even more difficult because I was a pastor. So most of the time the attention was on church and the work of God. So neglecting the place of the family. We got to a retreat last year. And I'm equally somebody who one syllable person. One line is yes or no. It's either black or white. So most of the time my wife says, why are you, I asked you when you went somewhere, by the time you came back, I'm asking you, how was your day? Fine. He said, is that all? I said, what did you expect my day to be? So I didn't know that was creating a gulf in our marriage. In that retreat, I learned that there is, most of the time, what you want people to do, what you want your spouse to do for you is an expression of what you are doing for your spouse. So my wife likes to talk. She will want you to talk and talk and talk. So because during that retreat, I learned that the way she talks is an expression of what she wants from me. So those are part of the silent voices that we are not hearing. So from that retreat, I went back and deliberately decided to start talking. I'm also creating time for my family. Now, this is it. Our first daughter got admission last year. We were supposed to send her off to the university, but both of us just agreed that no, let's defer her admission and use this 1 year and work on the family and see before we now send her off this year. So it was something that is beautiful. Yesterday, Coach Kunle was sharing about the person that our first daughter became. In fact, during the testimony, he said, Zara, I am proud of you. So if we decided not to work on what we learned from here, nothing would have changed in the life of that young girl. She would have gone and probably will never return home. So when we got back, I started listening. So many things changed in our home because I decided to listen to both my wife, the children, and also that pushed me to immediately register for the Intentional Parent Academy. It wasn't that my wife pushed me, but on my own, when we got there, I saw that, see, young man, if you really need to get this thing right, a lot of lions are chasing you, so you need to act quick. So I decided to register and started doing things intentionally. Now, another thing again that was a game changer for us was the different level of intimacy. When Coach Wendy was speaking, there was a question that came up during that retreat. Talked about different level of intimacy. There is spiritual intimacy, there is financial intimacy, there is work intimacy, there is emotional intimacy, and there is crisis intimacy. So in every level where you find yourself in life, there is a level of it. If you people are not intimate in that level, it either break your marriage. So my wife and I were not financially intimate. I must tell you. We were running joint, we have joint accounts where we put money. But that didn't make us financially intimate. So I can just wake up in the morning and see that car and decide I want to buy the car. Without consulting my wife, I'll just go ahead and buy the car and bring it home. Without necessarily discussing the financial implication with her. So I just go ahead and do whatever I want to do. After all, I was the one who made the money. So when we got back, we deliberately decided to be okay, we want to be intimate financially also. So whenever we want to do anything, we'll sit down, write it down, and now say, okay, this is where we are going to pull resources from. We learn from their own experience. That's Coach Kunle and Wendy. From their own experience, they share with us during the retreat on how they were able to achieve a whole lot being financially intimate. So both of us now started practicing it. I think it works. By the grace of God, one of the testimonies that came out of it was us moving into our new home. A new mansion. It's a mansion. That have a place where we call a basement. That any with a swimming pool.
That is a smart house.
That's a smart house.
So part of this was as a result of us becoming intimate after that retreat, and also trying to communicate more with the children. And what that has done for us was that the children, whenever they go out, they will want to come back home.
Listen to this statement, internalize it. The moment the thought of your spouse does not excite you, your marriage is failing. You need to start asking yourself if your spouse excites you. Simple test. If the answer is no, then you quickly need to work on your marriage. You don't wait. You don't wait. I told you, if you marriage alone, it only gets worse. It doesn't get better. Nothing gets better by itself. Nothing. No work gets done on its own. Somebody is behind working it.
Crisis meetings. Most of us, when something happens in the home, you begin to disintegrate our home. Because most of us, even our parents, when you find out that some of the things that happened to them, they were not able to handle. You will find out that some things that they are going through now, something happened that they were not able to deal with.
Hi, my name is Kunle Ologe, marriage counselor and founder of the Marriage Seal Academy. We have the flagship program of the Marriage Seal Academy, the Couples Conclave. This is the annual program of the Marriage Seal Academy where we hold the hands of couples and give them an accountability system that they can rely on and a rejuvenation system that will wake their marriages up from comatose. This program has so many things in it. You get daily tips on marriage, weekly bonding activities. You get every month a master class on an aspect on marriage. We have book reading and reviews. We have gender conferences where the men have their conference and the women have their own conference. And oh, so interesting, we have the annual couples retreat. Once every year, participants at the Couples Conclave gather together physically to have a retreat in a beautiful resort. And that is always very exciting and rejuvenating for marriage. So we invite you to come into the Marriage Seal Academy. Come and explore, come and learn, come and grow your marriage. Come and build your marriage into something that you will really appreciate later on in life, and something that will build your children's marriage also. To reach us on the Marriage Seal Academy, you see the number scrolling on your screen. Send a WhatsApp chat to us and we will be there to answer you. Please enjoy.